It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. Tell them, Canada Dry.
Well, it's time for DAT. It's Dynamite After Dark, baby.
Woohoo! Hit it.
Tell me what's my age. Tell me what's my occupation. Tell me what's my race. Tell me is it with inflation. Tell me what's my age. Tell me what's my race. Tell me all my sexual distaste. Tell me what you need. Tell me how you feel. And tell me all your information.
Anything goes. It's Dynamite After Dark.
Oh, kaboom, kaboom.
Louie.
Kaplooey. Welcome to this week's edition of Dynamite After Dark. We are the trios that will bring you fun and entertainment, at least for the next hour. Hopefully under an hour, but we'll try. Anyways, I am, of course, one of your hosts. I am a third of the greatest trios podcast team in wrestling history. I am the JFB, James from Boston.
And I'm, of course, the Green Lantern of Sector 73470. I am that gingered up, bubbly son of a gun, gonna have big fun on Dynamite After Dark tonight. I'm kind of dry, damn it.
Woo, smooth. And, of course, we are joined by the other third. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Mr. Co-host.
I don't know if I can. I don't want everybody to know my secret identity.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I'm afraid, like, right now. Like, apparently, if I say this
You got
six-letter
loved
word,
ones
I
to
turn into,
protect
like,
as a superhero. I understand.
you get it. Like, me and you, we understand. Like, we've actually worked together before. But you guys have to understand, if I say a certain six-letter word, I transform into, like, oh, wait, never mind. I've already said it. God, I am all so awesome.
You know, my Robin is right over there. Introduce yourself, Robin.
You got a lot of naked butt over there.
Dynamite After Dark.
Anything can happen. And I am the little Robin honoring the Mountain Dew. I am, of course, your former Lady Saipel. Now elsewhere, I am George 2.0.
All right. I like that, George.
So you were abducted by aliens. Is this true?
Yes. Did we have an whole episode on this on Friday?
Well, some of these people don't watch Wrestling with the Paranormal. So
I don't know why they don't. Like, you have to watch that. It's such a
You
great
don't?
show.
If you don't watch Wrestling with the Paranormal, you will be abducted by aliens. Now, I did watch this because I was on it, but I was still abducted by aliens. But you have less of a chance to be abducted by aliens if you start watching it.
There's a difference between being abducted by aliens and just not seeing it coming. You saw it coming.
you invite them, like you invite them. Hey, come
Yeah,
get me.
you kind of did.
He's got one of those big, huge lights that shines up in the sky, so it's more of a beacon.
Okay, see, here's a little secret. What happened was they were already at the door, and they knew the password. They were just like, knock, knock. So I'm like, oh, okay, who's there? I let them in. They used the secret password,
George,
which was
remember
knock,
the
knock.
password? Do you remember what the password was? I told you what it was. Do you remember what it was?
What was it?
Bosco.
It is Bosco. I knew that. I was just testing you.
Okay, let's get on with it.
Let's get on with the show. We got Noob. Noob said he's doing. Hope everyone. Hope you're doing good. Just got back from physical therapy. Hey man, hope you make your strides, my friend. Hope you make
this guy's been doing a professional physical therapy on his life for like the last 50 days. He's every day physical therapy.
Yeah.
You know, maybe he's training to be a physical therapist.
Damn.
That's true. That's true. And Joseph Graham's in the building. And of course, Joseph Graham says, this isn't the real George. This is an imposter. I don't know.
Oh.
I mean, it is George Dose Point oh. So, I mean, stranger things have
You
happened.
know, when those aliens stick that probe up there, they change you.
They touch brain.
It changes a man.
You are not the same once you've been probed.
No, you are changed forever.
Let's get to the start of the show. We start with a fracas, if you will. The Young Bucks are attacked by Blackpool Combat Club. I didn't really see it because I was finishing dinner and totally forgot that Dynamite was on at 7. So I rushed. I missed the first 2 minutes. So let's get into our first match of the night. We got Orange Cassidy, Sting, and Darby Allin versus the Butcher, the Blade, and Kip Sabian. Here are some of my notes. Orange Cassidy's face paint is why we watch AEW. This guy is just pure genius. Everybody else has face paint. He just puts an O and a C for Orange Cassidy. It's a real shame they're not using Kip more often, or Butcher and Blade for that matter. I think that's highway robbery. I love Taz, his comment to Shivani. The OC is for Orange Cassidy. Am I the only one annoyed by no-selling Sting? Because that guy just no-sells way too much for me. What magical hairspray does he use? Because that hair is like Jimmy Johnson hair. That shit don't move. It just stays. His head moves, but it stays right there all the time. Butcher looks like one of the villains from either Raiders of the Lost Ark or Temple of Doom. Canada Dry, you go first. Your thoughts on the opening match?
I was hoping that he didn't. That he just put 2 black lines there. I was hoping for. Just 2 black lines. That's all I wanted.
Football player.
Yeah, it would have been a little bit more lazy to just have 2 black lines.
Okay,
but it was still similar to that. But
yeah,
it was an entertaining match. Once again, Sting is not doing the sharpshooter very well. Never has.
No, never has. Ever.
Like, it's for one of his finishing moves, he doesn't do it very well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a great. I can't figure out Tony. Just when you think, okay, this makes sense to have maybe Mox start up, but when you see the booking, I just don't get it sometimes. Like, why is that first? Someone said it's Sting's birthday, and that's why they started it first.
I don't know. He's not on my birthday list, so I have no idea.
Sting's birthday was Monday.
Okay.
He got the same birthday as Rich.
Oh, Rich and the Stinger both have the same birthday. Happy birthday, by the way, Mr. Rich Southwood, who is watching us live. Yes. Happy birthday. Trey J. Styles, your thoughts on the first match?
I think the first match was just fun. I mean, even watching Sting do like the Orange Cassidy style stick, what a lot of people got to remember is that Sting got over because he was, as the young kids say, a Riz god.
Yeah.
Which is a high charisma individual for those of you who didn't know, if you're mine and JFB's age. But that's really Sting's thing. Sting is so great because of his character and the fact that he's been able to even take it at, what is he now, 64?
Yeah.
And he's in there with 20 and 30-year-old guys. And yet you don't care if he can shrug off a punch from the Butcher. You don't care if he, does the stinker splash to Butcher's back. You don't care about that. You don't even care if he does a sharpshooter well.
Yeah.
You just care.
I do.
You're Canadian, so we'll let
Of course
that
you
do. But it's like that's the one thing that makes him so amazing. His career has always been just, who cares what he does in the ring? Sting is just amazing.
Yeah. Okay. George Penning.
Woo!
George Dose Point oh. Your thoughts on the first match?
I'll be honest. As soon as Sting made his entrance, I'm like, okay, what's he jumping off next? He's with Darby. Last time he was with Darby, he jumped off of something. And other than that, the match got going. Just, if you wanted fun, this was fun taken to the next level.
Agreed.
And Orange Cassidy and Sting are just together.
Yeah.
It's just Orange Cassidy when Sting's moves, Sting when Orange Cassidy sting. I do agree what was said earlier. Kip does deserve a bit better.
Yeah.
Now, I'm wrong, which I probably am, but it's better if it's right. We come back and Kip takes the title off of Orange Cassidy, but that can be another topic for another day.
Yeah.
Other than that, I really like the opening match.
Can you put up that comment by Rich again?
Rich Southwood says Sting Scorpion Death Drop looks fantastic, though.
That is actually a Bret Hart death drop that he's doing.
Sting is nothing more than
What's he
just
call it? The Canadian drop?
Yeah.
No, it's just the Bret Hart.
Yes,
drop.
Bret Hart. Death
I'm
Drop.
kidding. Bret Hart said that Sting is one of the nicest humans on the planet, so I have no problem with Sting whatsoever.
Yeah, I've always liked Sting. I like him way better when he sells a punch and a kick and doesn't no sell. So we go to a video segment recapping the 4 pillars from last week. We talked about that already. We skip it. Video package hyping the main event. All right. I mean, it's a pretty big deal that we'll talk about this, but that Kenny Omega's opponent is getting showcased to the American audiences. We go right into our second match, and that is going to be Top Flight versus the Guns. Here are some of my notes. This should be an interesting match. I'm getting more and more into Top Flight, and I'm getting more and more into the Guns. I never thought I would ever utter that out of my mouth. I feel like ashamed, but in a good way. Top Flight are just freaking athletes. They're just freaking damn athletes. Love the drama they were building. And then out of nowhere comes the Kingdom. And they basically cost Top Flight the match. And the Guns retain, but are they with the Guns? Is the curious question. Why were they helping them? It would have made sense if they had a match in either Saturday at Rampage or next week when they're have to fight them instead of the Acclaimed. But I digress. Let's go to Trey J Styles. Trey J, your thoughts?
I gotta agree with you. When it comes to Top Flight, they really have become the what are they gonna do next group. Yeah. Definitely you want to see them pick up wins, but I mean they're so good that that's going to come. Yeah. You're not even worried about like their future. The fact that they're showcased so often is a sign that AEW definitely has a lot of faith in them. It is really good to see the Kingdom in this.
Yes.
Because a lot of people have, myself included, felt like they have just been kind of drifting.
Yeah.
And you're kind of hoping maybe they're going to get a big spot at Supercard, or maybe they're going to do this, or maybe they're going to. And honestly, a lot of people have suggested that Top Flight is going to go over to ROH more so full time and be featured there.
Yeah.
So I've definitely heard that a few times. But as far as the match, I mean, this is definitely, it showcased how the Guns have gotten a lot more crafty.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that they even play to the crowd a little bit, like faking like they're going to do some like high risk moves. And they're like, no, it's not us.
Yeah.
And, and of course the face off with FTR at the end is just, it's great because it plays up the tease on are they going to stay or are they going to go?
Yeah. And the question that I'll pose to all three of you as we go through, but are they laying down the foundation for possible leaving AEW and when their contracts are up, or is this just another good version of long-term storytelling that Tony Khan has been doing a lot lately and has been doing successfully? So, Trey J, what are your thoughts?
Oh, I definitely think this is a long-term story build. Yeah. I can't imagine FTR going back to Japan at this point, going back to both of them have like young kids, and it's like Japan is, unless you're going to move there full time, it's like that's a tough one. Yeah. And then going to WWE right now, the WWE still has not done a great job of focusing on tag team wrestling. I mean, what was it? The showcase matches that they have set up for WrestleMania is an example of how poorly they've booked the tag team division. So
yeah.
And I don't think either one of them is going single or solo right now. So I definitely like the fact that they're doing this long-term storyline, because why come back for a month?
Yeah. All right. George Penning, your thoughts, second match?
I love this match, honestly, a bit more than what I thought, and I do agree. I have been getting into Top Flight more. Now, granted, we just got Ring of Honor back a bit.
Yeah.
But I feel like while it's been here, Top Flight has kind of grown on me a bit more since what they did or have done in Ring of Honor. Even that little bit with the Kingdom thrown in there, hence in their match.
Yeah.
And I feel like they've grown on me a bit more. And of course, I'm happy to see the Kingdom getting a bit more spotlight. And honestly, the Guns are, in my opinion, I would say, proving everyone wrong that they are a good tag team there. Because they basically took the titles and pissed everyone off, which that got attention.
Yeah.
And two, showed them that they were basically ready and mega heels at the same time.
Yeah.
And three, that they come to prove and they should be there in that spotlight.
Yeah.
And I think even afterwards with FR keeping you guessing, which honestly is the thing I love about AEW, and which is also so hard sometimes to predict.
Yeah.
But for the betterment of everything, I do agree that there is going to be long-term story booking there.
Yeah.
Mostly because all the way up until what actually happens, we won't know the answer.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Canada Dry, your thoughts on the second match?
This was a great match. You knew Top Flight wasn't going to win.
Yeah.
But I like the Ring of Honor bleeding over to Dynamite. I like that. I really think that you're going to have a lot of back and forth with the tag team division, Ring of Honor and AEW. You're going to see a lot of back and forth sharing the tag division. I can really see Top Flight winning those tag team gold in that ladder match.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I can really see them taking that. But yeah, what was your other question you asked, Trey J?
If this is long-term storytelling, or are they just setting?
Yeah, I really think this is a sign that while they were off, I really believe that was to work on the contracts.
Yeah,
because we can't really push you any further until we get this thing done. So I think their new contracts are already signed.
Yeah, absolutely. So we go to a Taya Valkyrie video package. We break to Jade with Renee, and Jade says, "Hey, you cut the shit." Starts going into her promo. Mark Sterling comes out with his cease and desist order against using Taya Valkyrie's finisher, which is the Valhalla, versus Jaded, which is basically the same exact move. Really quickly, in 15 seconds or less, Canada Dry, you go first. Thoughts on this Jade promo?
Well, I was going to say that Bret Hart did the move first.
That's
called the Hart Slam.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, it was a nice little segment. That's pretty much it.
Okay. Trey J, really quick, your thoughts?
This was a bobble of a segment, honestly, because I swear in the beginning of the segment, Mark Sterling says, "I sent you this. Remember, it has the letterhead." And then later Gay says, "I'm going to deliver this personally." I'm like, wait a minute. So she's going to have 2 copies of it?
Yeah. Good pickup.
Yeah. George, you're really quick.
Cool segment. If you want Taya to just be Patel, then we can just have Statlander come back later, do it. Oh well.
George, who's on your shirt?
That's all I got from it. Oh, here. Mariah. You don't watch a lot of Stardom, do you?
Okay, so
no, I do. I know who it is.
she just released into Stardom. Yeah.
Okay.
Canada Dry, we need to get you into Stardom wrestling.
Yeah.
I don't got a lot of time for wrestling. I got my wrestling card booked up.
And
get him off the damn show.
Dang! I can't try to get you into Stardom, and you try to get him off the show.
I'm kidding. He's got technical difficulties.
Yeah. So let's go to our third match. We got Stokely versus the handsome Devil Hook. Here are some of my notes. Let me get George back in. There we go. All right. So What is Stokely wearing? I swear to God, he looks like a knockoff superheroes that you see in Times Square that hassle you for like $10 for a picture. That's what he looks like. This is going to be a Stokely heavy episode for me. Stokely says he's not medically cleared and retiring. He thanks his 12 fans. It's now 13. You have 13 fans now, my friend. He has a sick note. The sick note just happens as Wingstop. Yeah, I mean, it's just Stokely can scream. He quotes Tupac, which I thought was really nice. Like, good, shouting out Tupac, and then takes a nasty bump into the guardrail, and then he gets choked out. George, your thoughts on the third match between Stokely and Hook?
I will say it was a great, entertaining match. From what I got, I know Dally got way more out of it because Hook, hence. But Stokely shenanigans is what did it for me. Just trying to get in and out of this match in any way possible, especially when they cut backstage for a match. Guys, we didn't plan for him to use a chair in this match or whatever they said. We didn't plan for this to go to extreme.
Yeah.
Hence, it was a no DQ match, and they didn't plan for it. That was honestly the icing on the cake for me with this.
Canada Dry, your thoughts on the third match of the night?
I like Stokely. When are we going to see a real match from Taz's son, from Hook?
When are we going to see a real one from Hook?
Yeah, when are we going to see a real match from Hook?
When
is he not ready?
When he's not
when
over?
When they sign Peter Pan.
Yeah,
they need to sign Peter Pan.
Yeah. Once he starts losing that luster from the fans and Dally, then eventually they'll put him in a real match. He'll get squished, and then he'll be gone for a couple months.
Well, yeah, it'll be interesting to see because he's losing that luster already, I think.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, that turd is not shiny right now. It's just got a slight gleam. Trey J, your thoughts on the third match?
Well, first thing I saw was Stokely comes out in like circa like 1990s Nation of Domination gear.
I thought that too.
And it was so funny because you watch him go to the ring and he starts walking off by himself. He looks back and everybody from the firm is like giving him the thumbs up, like, yeah, well, you got this. And I'm like, Hook is about to kill this man because they're not coming out to help.
Yeah.
And I mean, the fire extinguisher part was like unexpected, but also quite hilarious. Plus, I think it was honestly good for Hook to like at least see some kind of like vulnerability.
Yeah.
Like, even though we know he's going to win this, you know, for him to see a little bit of vulnerability is always good for him because Hook's selling is terrible.
Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the main reasons why he hasn't been in a major match because he can't come from behind.
Yeah.
But watching him chase Stokely and things of that nature, they definitely tried to make this as fun as possible. And you got to give a lot of credit for that to Stokely for everything because Stokely took some nasty bumps.
Oh, he did.
Some of those ones on the outside of the ring. It was like the exploder suplex on the outside. I'm like, he barely cleared that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, definitely something to do. But I think it's good for the firm to get this kind of TV time because we're starting to see them more. And it's also making it look like Matt Hardy is the mastermind behind getting Stokely killed.
Yeah, exactly.
All for that.
All right. So before we get to the next segment, which is featuring a former member of the WWE, I don't remember what the faction name was, but before we get to Adam Cole's segment, I wanted to get into one of his friends or ex-friends at this point. We don't know. I believe that's our Bobby Fish joke of the week. Bobby Fish joke of the week. Hit it, Trey J.
Well, most of you guys have probably watched Law and Order, right?
Yeah.
Well, apparently they have a new version of Law and Order. And in this particular version of Law and Order, basically they're going around and they're trying to find anyone who's ever lost to Bobby Fish.
Oh.
Now, granted, it's probably going to be about 7 episodes long because, there's not that many people.
Yeah.
And it's a comedy, obviously.
Obviously. But it has some great actors. Would you guys like to hear the character in the actors list?
Sure.
Yes.
Oh, good. I have it right here. All right. It stars such luminaries as Lori Loughlin from Full House fame. As you guys remember, last time we saw her, she was on trial for trying to bribe someone to get her daughter. Gwyneth Paltrow, I think that's how you say her name. Apparently, she's no stranger to head injuries.
Oh, no. Ooh.
Apparently, NWA World Champion Tyrus is going to be in this as well.
Oh.
And he's pretty much a jackass, so it fits completely. And the big star of this, Robert Vaughn. Do you guys remember Robert Vaughn, character actor Robert Vaughn?
Yeah.
Robert Vaughn was in everything.
He was.
Yep. But the show is going to be called Law and Order Special Opponents Unit. So basically, like I said, it's only going to be about 7 episodes long because Bobby Fish doesn't win very often.
Oh, I
Is
love
this going to
it.
be on HBO Max or where's this going to be on?
No, it was going to be on HBO Max, but instead it's on Tubi because HBO Max is like, we're not paying for that trash. They tried to help out and make it a cost-cutting measure.
Yeah.
But once they found out that they couldn't use matches that he won with the Undisputed Era, which was the name you couldn't remember earlier.
That's right.
HBO passed on it, so they were like, all right, we're not. No parts.
This joke has been extra fishy today. I smell that fish. Oh, fishy.
Well, the Bobby Fish joke of the week is brought to you by Backshaves.com. That's right, Backshaves.com. Do you want someone to come to your house, your place of work, and shave your back for you? Backshaves.com is where you go. Sign up, pay a monthly fee, and bada bing, bada boom. You got a clean back. Canada Dry. What was your back like? What did that girl say?
Oh, she whispered in my ear and she said, "Smooth like butter." But I just wanted to point out, we have George on the show. Backshaves.com actually saved his life.
Yeah.
Tell him, George.
Tell him, George.
See, without Backshaves.com, everyone would have kept calling me the ass grabber because of my hairy back. Now, because I use Backshaves.com, nobody's pointing the finger at me and calling me the ass grabber in the group anymore, thanks to Backshaves.com. And they can save you too. Use Backshaves.com.
Yeah, I heard that Canada Dry had a unfortunate Velcro incident before Backshaves.com.
I did.
And there were many lives lost that day.
There was.
All right. Let's get back to the action. We are talking about Adam Cole, baby. He is looking really good. I think this might be the fittest he's been since maybe his first 5 years wrestling. That guy looks to be in shape. Says 1 week from his return, who's going to be his opponent? Well, out comes the Jericho Appreciation Society member, Daniel Garcia. He talks about himself being a locker room leader. And then Cole rips into him. And the only thing I can end with is this. I love Cole's passion. It's still hard for me to see him as a face when all I've ever seen him as is a heel. It's very weird. I'm liking it, but I'm not fully on board. So, Canada Dry, your thoughts on the Adam Cole segment?
I love that it's going to be Daniel Garcia versus Adam Cole next week. Yeah. I think Daniel Garcia is the perfect opponent.
Yeah.
That kid is what do you say? Smooth like butter. He can wrestle. He's the perfect guy to put over Adam Cole, and no doubt about it, Adam Cole's winning. But I just, ever since he came back, I'm just loving the face, and there's no better face than Adam Cole to me. because
Yeah.
he's just a nice guy
Yeah.
in real life.
Yeah, in real life he is. In the majority of his wrestling career, he was a prick, and he was like that needling little prick, not like the big dumb oaf. Trey J Styles, your thoughts on the Adam Cole, baby?
How can you not like Adam Cole? Like, not liking Adam Cole is like not liking the Super Mario Brothers movie. Like, you're a terrible person if you don't like it. Like, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, what have you done
Have
with
you
your
seen
life?
it?
Huh?
Have
No,
you
it just
seen the
looks
Mario
awesome.
movie?
Like, I already know it's going to be great because they're actually, it's done right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's how Adam Cole is. It's done right. I do love the little callback to the the Karrion Kross segment.
Yeah.
Where where he says, you want Adam Cole to be special, ring the damn bell.
Yeah.
But Daniel Garcia is also like a great opponent for this because of his history as well. Daniel Garcia was out for like a year and a half due to a terrible, like almost like life-threatening car accident.
Yep.
And so it's like, so he knows what it's like to be gone for a bit, and he has accomplished a lot in AEW. Like when he's running down his accomplishments, I'm like, oh yeah, he did beat him. Oh yeah, he beat him too.
Yeah.
And so I think this is going to be great. It's a great jumping off point, and it's not like they're just feeding somebody to Adam Cole. This is going to be a full match. This is going to be a solid, like, I mean, if this is the opener, it's going to be great. If this is the main event next week, it's going to be great. Like,
But you know what it also does, Trey J? It also makes Daniel Garcia a bigger star, even if he's not winning.
oh, definitely. That's what I'm saying. It's like by putting him in this, it shows you, like, it was like how they put Takeshita against all the major stars.
Yeah.
It's like you're getting in there and you're getting those reps and you're getting seen. Like eyes are going to be on this match.
Yeah.
Which means that eyes are going to be on the other guy in this match. So I was just like, as long as it's like not somebody that we're not going to care about later.
Yeah, absolutely. George Dos.0, your thoughts?
Now with going back to the question, who was going to be Adam Cole's opponent? Besides everyone I was seeing and myself, picking Jay White. Yes, I was surprised to see it was Danny Garcia, but as soon as they laid into each other, I was all for it.
Yeah.
Besides Dally melting down about Danny Garcia, but I do believe it's going to be perfect, and I also do mention that because in the chat I did mention earlier that the Jericho Appreciation Society kind of seems like a little subtle NWO at the moment, just without adding more members to them, as going after everybody almost.
Yeah.
Now, it's not a lot of people at the moment, but almost everyone else on the roster. And now, is this going to be a banger match next week? Yes. No matter where they put it, honestly, main event, right at the start, it don't matter. It's going to rock anyway. Yeah. Especially when Danny Garcia started laying into everyone else he's beaten, hence Bryan Danielson. And as for Adam Cole, I do love him. It's just so far for I guess being alone as a face right now. I guess coming back as like a face, not like being a face with the Elite or like anyone else.
Yeah,
it's a bit kind of hard. So I'm giving it a chance. Besides just Adam Cole just being heel alone, because he's good at that, but we just haven't seen too much of face Adam Cole as like a singular entity, I want to say.
True.
So true. I do hope this kind of turns into like a short storyline, maybe towards Double or Nothing, but that's probably stretching it, but who knows?
Can we show the comment by Golden Graham? The last one?
You talking about that one?
Yes.
Yeah. Joseph Graham says, also love the little slip of Garcia almost calling himself a pro wrestler. And Rich Southwood says, oh, he did call himself a pro wrestler. I mean, it was a great promo, and he made that little slip. And you know, when you get into the heat of the moment and you're riffing, you know, you'll just
accidentally on purpose, or was it an accident?
No, I think it was accident. Yeah. I think he was just in the moment. So we with Alex with Omega and Callis. Callis is a great hype man. Hypes up. The Gauntlet Wrestling is back. Let's go to our fourth match. It's gonna be Jon Moxley. He's gonna be fighting Stu Grayson. Here's some of my notes. Don't matter how brutal and dirty Mox gets, the fans are still going to pop for him, and that
Not
makes
me.
it hard. Well, I know either. I'm not going to pop for him either, but it'll be a rare occasion where
Not this guy down below me.
Yeah, yeah,
One of the few things the three of us completely agree on.
yeah, absolutely.
What about you, George? Are you in on Mox or no?
No.
Nope, you're not in on Mox.
Yeah,
Good
it's 4-0, 4-0, baby. I'm glad the Dark Order is getting some more TV time. Stu goes right after him. Lots of botches early in the match, which I was really surprised with these two that would happen, but their rhythm seemed off. There was just something about their chemistry. It just wasn't there. And I don't know if there's just an off night. So Canada Dry, you go first. Your thoughts on match number 4.
This was my least favorite match of the night, honestly.
Yep.
I just wasn't into it. Honestly, I was on my phone in the chat a lot. It just wasn't holding my attention. I was like, "Is it over yet? Let's get to the next match." I just wasn't into it. I am into BCC's antics, though. I am really into their antics. It's really made me excited to watch. And now they got the hoods with the Blackpool Combat Club. They're badass.
Yeah, absolutely. Trey J, your thoughts on match number 4?
So I didn't hate it as much as like it seems like you guys did. I think they tried too hard to give us something different from last week, and a lot of times that's where some of these matches go wrong. It's like you gotta build on what you did have. I mean, last time it was like your tag in, tag out. Like it's almost like in the very beginning, Moxley didn't want to give as much as he needed to make Grayson's official return seem like a big enough deal. And it was like he was sandbagging. And Moxley has a habit of doing that. He's been doing that since his WWE days.
Yeah.
And so whenever he doesn't feel like the opponent that he's up against is on his level, he'll sandbag. And he's done that with a lot of different people. He most famously did that with Preston Vance and almost broke Preston Vance's whole face.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, it's one of those things where it's like, does John Moxley really believe that he's a tough guy? Because he still looks like John Moxley.
Yeah.
Like, not even gonna lie. But if I had to fight John Moxley, it would look like that scene in episode 5, season 3 of The Boys, where like A-Train dragged that dude down the street.
Yeah.
I would beat John Moxley like a rented mule. I would beat John Moxley like he owed me money. I would beat John Moxley like episode 3 of the Law and Order Special Opponents Unit.
And just as a special invitation, John Moxley, you are welcome on this show for a rebuttal.
Yeah, I will slap that man back into drinking.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow. Damn. George, your
someone
thoughts
does
on
not like John Moxley.
No. I think we're all in agreement.
I want you to know that I have like a list, right? Like a list of people that I just do not like.
The list.
The list.
That's gonna save something for later.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, that's good foreshadowing right there.
There you go.
George, your thoughts on match number 4?
To try to follow up with that. Oh, besides,
I totally forgot you talked. All right.
Yeah.
I'll just say the most interesting part was just the way they came out. The Black Hood Combat Club. That's all I could pay attention to.
Yeah.
I do agree with like the chemistry thing earlier and everything. And I will say one more thing. If you could do this with Evil Uno Mox, you should have done it with Stu Grayson. Yeah. Even if the chemistry wasn't there, it wasn't that hard to just stop sandbagging a little or something and just let Stu do his thing, because he does have some moves and some combos that he does by himself. Yeah. That literally you could have got in and the match could have just been shorter, hence for that. And then chop, chop, done. Yeah. So
totally agree.
Choppy pee-pee? Is that what you're saying?
Choppy pee-pee. Oh, no. That's a no-no. That's
a no-no. That's a different week.
That's Sundays.
Is daylight savings time getting you Canada Dry?
I don't know.
Oh, no. Do they have that in Canada?
Oh, we got tons of them.
Actually?
We got every week.
Aren't the days like
We're
6 months
flip-flopping
long?
every week.
It's just,
what time is it now?
Canada's a mystery country. Let's get to Renee. Renee's Paquette. She is in the back with Ricky Starks. He wants soft serve Juice Robinson on Rampage. All right, that's enough of that. Let's go to QTV. Another episode of QTV. They start showing video of Hobbs getting destroyed, or Hobbs destroying Phoenix. They announced an open challenge on Rampage. It's going to be.
I want to go first on this one.
All right, it'll be Penta. Go for it, Canada Dry.
This was so cringe.
Yeah.
This whole thing was cringe. I don't know if that's what they're going for.
God, I
but
hope
it was so cringe. Like last week was interesting, but this was just cringe.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I got on that.
Okay.
Hopefully Trey J has something more
elaborate,
enlightening to say.
I enjoyed this segment. I don't know about y'all, but like
Really?
the part when he said that Solo like identity thefted Wardlow and cost him his house and his car was the best. That show was hilarious. Like there was so much like small subtlety in this. And of course they got my girl back. She's there. And so
she was more annoying than ever.
Exactly. But you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. There are certain things that I can let slide. She has
I'm sure all of us would let that slide in the right situation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's what she said.
Hell yeah.
Honestly, like I don't know. I don't hate this. I do like it as a setup for Hobbs and Hobbs and Penta, because it does make sense for Penta to be the next person, especially when they say, "Oh yeah, your brother didn't even come over to help you," and it's like, "Oh, now he's going to be the next one." So it's perfect for me.
Yeah. Okay. George, your thoughts?
I'm glad that they kind of set up Hobbs' next challenger. The fact that QTV is more MTV than MTV is MTV is honestly the best thing I didn't know I needed.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was just going to be another talk show, yada yada yada. But replace QTV with MTV, please.
There you go. Okay. Let's go to match number 5. Ooh, match number 5. Sky Blue. Sky Blue versus Tony Storm. Here are some of my notes. Storm goes in for the kill early. Sky Blue's coming back hard. Outcast doles out a beating on the outside. And then eventually Sky Blue Colt cocks Ruby Riott right in the kisser. Sky coming back after a commercial break. Now the painting shenanigans begin, and Riho and Willow come out and make the save, and the Outcasts leave. So, Canada Dry, your thoughts on match number 5?
This was Sky Blue's best match in
Yes.
AEW.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she showed some actual prowess as a wrestler.
Yeah.
I thought she's on the verge of stardom. I really think that she's just a few little moves away from being the next big thing in AEW. And it really pisses me off that she won't come on our damn show and is ignoring my emails.
Maybe I'll email her. She's from Chicago. I was born there. Maybe we can get
maybe tell her we're willing to pay her. It's not like trying to get her on for free.
Yeah, we're not going to send naked pictures of ourselves.
What?
Actually,
why did you even say that? We're really
Why?
I have no idea.
I mean, I'm just gonna send a picture of all of this. Like this is the post Shazam right here.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, one of us needs to yell Shazam, and then
Now you're feeling that
I say Shazam like Black Adam says Shazam. Like he's still the Rock. Like
yeah.
But I also got I have a bone to pick with Canada Dry here, because this match was finally the proof that I needed. Because Canada Dry said that Sky Blue has no chest, and this match proved that Sky Blue has a chest.
That's true.
Throughout all
I never said she didn't have a chest. I just didn't say she had biggins.
She has a solid. She got a solid right now.
Yeah, I'm not saying she doesn't have any at all. I'm just saying they're not gigantic.
Well, no, they're not gigantic. But we don't need gigantic. They're good for her size. We don't want her tipping over.
You made yours like this.
That's dramatic effect.
Who's next?
I don't have to use a small pillow.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You need to use a small pillow for Sky Blue.
Jeez. But no, this match was really good. I enjoyed it. Toni Storm has really kind of found her confidence as a heel. Yeah. And not just like as far as character-wise, but just being back into the ring. She's back in step. She's finding that chemistry with just about everybody. And it's like she's just slowing it down. Like she's not overly excited out there. She is slowing it down. It's like there's a rule in wrestling. If you think you're going too fast, slow down. If you think you're going too slow down even more. Like that is what she has finally grasped in AEW. Now, I still can't stand her theme music, but everything else I'm big on right now.
Yeah. Okay. George, your turn.
The only thing I really have with this, it was a great match. Sky Blue's best performance she has done. Besides this and kind of last week, the only real thing I have is where's the champion at the moment?
Yeah.
And why is she not being featured? Like, yeah, she's with Britt Baker and everything and still, but she's a champion. Where the hell is she?
Yeah.
Look at Jade. She didn't have a match. She's on TV.
Yep.
So where's Jamie Hayter? And like, I think Jamie Hayter should, like, she doesn't even need to have a match. Just have her show, even on Rampage, because that's where Jade also is every so often.
Yeah.
So, out of all this, you can't squeeze a little bit of time or like something small in there for her.
Yeah. Yeah. You hit the nail right on the head. That's a huge weakness when it comes to Tony Khan. Because he does it with the men too. It's more often than not it's the women, but he's done it for the guys too. I mean,
and
this time you wouldn't see Moxley at all.
Yeah, and that's all. That's where I want to also add one thing. It's like when we finally get one person as a champion, it kind of feels like it doesn't matter too much because they just almost disappear sometimes. Like regardless if they're injured or not.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we go to. We break to the Blackpool Combat Club, specifically more Jon Moxley. Coming up, Stu Grayson is getting his arm looked at. They choke him out and attack him, and then they leave. So, which was keeping up. I mean, he's keeping up with the story. Let's go to match number 6. This, I can't even begin to describe it. El Hijo del Vikingo versus Kenny Omega. Here are some of my notes. I cannot believe that he's going to get showcased to the American audience, because for people that don't follow Mexican wrestling, this guy is a god. He is that good.
Well, we know that now.
Oh yeah, we know that now. But I've known this for about a year after watching him.
Same.
Yeah. I love how Omega is introduced. Don Callis look as sharp as ever. Vikingo goes right into Omega early, which was brilliant. That's the way it needed to be. He needed to dictate the pace of how the match was going to go. I mean, this feels like literally a Lucha Libre fever dream. Unbelievable hurricanranas, monkey flips. I mean, these guys put it all on the mat. They are just going at each other. Kenny Omega gets the win. In comes Tony Schiavone.
Let's save the last part for after.
Okay, we'll save the schmaz for last. So let's go Can the Dry. Your thoughts on the main event?
What's this guy's name? I can't even pronounce it.
El Hijo del
Vikingo.
Vikingo. Wow,
yeah, close
this
enough.
guy's incredible. And Kenny did an amazing sell job with everything. Like, you don't like, he's got some awesome moves, but Kenny, he can sell like anybody in professional wrestling.
Yeah.
That was my big thing is Kenny the freaking landed on his head. How does he do that?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yep. Absolutely.
Like he landed on his head like 3 times in that match.
Yeah, at least.
I was like, is he okay? But it's freaking Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
This was a delay, and I hope we get this Vikingo. Did I say that right? Vikingo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope we get him again. Let's bring him back. Maybe we can do a talent exchange or something. I don't know, but let's get him back again. Because where the hell's Bandito?
He's got visa issues still.
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking, like, they did the same thing with Bandito, signed him, and now, like, okay.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts on the match.
Okay. Trey J, your thoughts on the match?
Sometimes we forget that this was supposed to be the Triple Mania main event a couple years ago.
Yep.
And when we talk about Triple Mania, that's like the biggest Triple H show of the year.
Yep.
And what we got was probably half the time they had allotted for that match.
Yeah.
El Hijo de Vikingo is an amazing talent, an amazing athlete. I mean, I don't think that gravity affects him like normal people. And Kenny Omega has, when it comes to not just selling, but just body control in general, there are like two guys on the planet that have that. It's like him and AJ Styles.
Yeah.
And to think that, like, we're getting this match, like, if we had gotten that match at Triple Mania, it wouldn't have been anywhere as good as this because of Kenny's injuries and everything else. But now having him on, like, the vast majority of people's radar is like, now when I tell people, like, yeah, this is a guy that legitimately could have beaten Kenny Omega, people aren't like, man, what are you talking about? You know,
why do I think that Vince McMahon is trying to get him on? Get this guy on the phone right now.
Well, you know, let's be real. He fits all of Vince's Vince's like wants. He doesn't have the mask, so obviously that's, you know, the unmasking thing is not going to be a problem. Yep. Apparently, he is fluent in English.
Yeah, he is.
Let's call him Damian Priest Jr. Damn it!
That'll be a blessing if they don't throw him with Viking Raiders first.
Yeah. So I mean, there's just so much you can do with a guy like that. I mean, he does fit in so many like top tier matches and with so many great opponents. It's like he's not going to be outsized in AEW, and so just being able to see him, and hopefully this opens up other doors for him to wrestle in a lot of other places, so people can actually see him and he can build that profile. And he's super young.
Yeah,
like he's what is he, 27?
Yeah, 26, 27.
Yeah, he's not an older wrestler.
Yeah,
and so,
but with that style, it's gonna take a beating on him.
Yeah, he's only 25 apparently.
Yeah.
So it's just like, you know, he has so many wrestling years on him, and that's the thing about it. Like you're saying that style. No, if you watch him, he's not taking the bumps.
Yeah,
like the way he does it is just so much balance to it. Like he is one of those guys who you just hope he doesn't get in the ring with the wrong guy.
Yeah.
Because
Goldberg.
let's not even speak that into existence right now.
No, don't even think about that.
Because if that happens, I'm going to blame Canada Dry.
blame Canada.
Yeah. So, but yeah, this was I mean, beyond an amazing match. This is probably one of the best main events they've had as far as singles matches in a long time.
And they did that nice little good build up before, like at the beginning of the show.
Oh yeah.
Okay, George, you're up. Thoughts on the main event?
Oh wow, I will not do this any justice whatsoever. You need to go see this. Make time, no matter what, any little time you can. You need to watch this.
Yeah.
And this is basically everything that we wanted back in 2021 that should have happened that didn't. And this is probably just like a little speck, a little fraction of what could have happened. Because I was all over, my friends everywhere, pro wrestling fans, of course, tell them how good Vikingo was ever since it was announced last week. Just like, oh, by the way, you remember that dream match you guys were going to get? Here you go. Here it is. And half of them knew, half of them didn't. Just geeking out over this whole match that they needed to see and how good Vikingo was.
Yeah.
And especially shown to the American audience was just icing on the cake.
Yeah.
And this is one of those that, just like when we had Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay, needs a second a run it back match.
Yeah.
No matter where you can throw it in, I want to say close fantasy booking here, close to slightly more realistically, maybe Double or Nothing or I know it's more AEW New Japan. Throw it on Forbidden Door too.
Yeah.
For maybe just a little more allotted time.
Yep.
For everything else that they can do, because of just if they're going to take about it as same as many bumps as they did in that match,
Yeah.
and like maybe something that was longer or whatever, and still be that safe and everything else, this could literally probably
George,
honestly
is that your
outbeat
girlfriend behind you? Is that your girlfriend behind you?
I won't deny it, but I mean, how can I say no? But this could literally be the contender for match of the year and probably next year too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So let's talk about the schmoz. Tony Schiavone comes in to interview Kenny Omega, and then out comes the Blackpool Combat Club, who continue to start slaying at everybody. This time they take their frustrations out on the remaining member of the Elite, Kenny Omega. They pound the living crap out of him. And then here comes, we know that the program is going to be between these six guys. I mean, and Heyman Page and all that other jazz. But as they're beating him up, the ambulance drives up, and you think, oh, it's going to be the Young Bucks. It's not. It's Hangman Page. Page comes out. Way too long. They waited to get him out. That should have been pre-fucking taped, and then they should have just had him come out and shot like a dart.
He wasn't even running. He was kind of jogging.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Other than that, yeah, I mean, Hangman Page comes to the rescue. Blackpool Combat Club leaves. Don Callis taps him on the shoulder. He almost hits him with a 2x4 filled with nails. And then Callis does the best sell of the night. He falls flat on his ass. Kenny Omega sees it. He starts sowing doubt into the mind of Kenny Omega that the Hangman Page should be there. God, yes. Canada Dry, what did you think?
I love this. I love when you get the complete story at the beginning of the show and finish it at the end of the show. I love that shit.
Yeah.
And it's so great to get the full story in an episode like that.
Yeah.
And this is like the worm. I love that we're getting wormy Don Callis again.
Yeah.
That he's just this wormy guy. But like, obviously Kenny Omega's going to see the video that he did this.
Yeah.
And he's going to be like, why, like you, and I'm predicting we're going to get Takeshita versus Omega at some point.
Ooh.
With Don Callis with Takeshita.
Yeah. Oh,
which will be interesting.
Very interesting. Ooh. Trey J, your thoughts on the schmoz?
Well, I just love the fact that like being the Elite kind of played into this a little bit. Yeah. Because at the end of being the Elite, they have this, I think like Matt Jackson set up a group chat, and it's like Hanger, Nicholas, Matthew, and Kenneth. And so he sets up this group chat, and then like basically him and Matt and Nick both say something, and then it says Kenny left the group chat. And I look at that and I'm just like, you know what? It's so crazy, because what if Kenny decides that he's just going to go solo, and Hangman and the Young Bucks, decide like they're going to be the ones? Because I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, Kenny and Hangman probably still have some like unfinished beef that they need to sort out. But
yeah, absolutely.
Kind of want to see that. I think that's the story. That's really what you want to see play out. Blackpool Combat Club basically doing a great story from beginning to end. Is starting to show that this show as a whole is evolving.
Yeah,
and so that's always good from a viewership standpoint, because you're getting these payoffs. They're not the full story, but you're getting something from beginning and the end of these episodes. So
yeah,
I hope that's a trend that continues.
Okay, so before we get to the bells, and
we gotta get George on the schmoz.
George went, didn't he?
No.
Oh, sorry, George. Go ahead. I'll say my
Did you not have your daily Canada apple today?
Just Canada apple.
Anyway, The fact that we got 2 back-to-back, I will say cliffhanger endings, because yes, they did finish it from start to end on this show. It was still enough of a cliffhanger there to have 2 cliffhanger back-to-back endings, which I feel Dynamite has probably needed for a while now. For also something else for tuning in the next week for maybe casual viewers, or maybe you just let's just say maybe the casual wrestling fan or someone tuned in at the start of the show.
Yeah.
They had that conclusion, and 2, the semi basically it would be like the end of I don't know, just a season of a TV show, to where it works as an ending but also cliffhanger to the next
I'm a
season.
grump if I don't have my Canada Apple every day.
And the fact I like, besides Don Callis just pulling in Eddie Guerrero, is kind of where this feud is going to go. Because I even seen some of us already like start predicting in the chat that might be a 3-way Dark Order versus Elite versus the BCC, or some mix or whatnot. Maybe Bryan Danielson comes back and just thrown back into them or something, or whatnot. And I really like that they are doing that, because we haven't really seen that too much, and I'm looking forward to what's happening next, especially if Don Callis is going back to his weasel ways.
Yeah.
Do I really see Takeshita turning heel with them? Canada Dry led to a bit earlier.
Yeah.
Not yet at the moment, because we're already trying to establish him as like a great face.
Yeah.
Already. So I'm not really all too sure how that'll work, but only time can tell.
Yeah.
Only time can tell.
All right.
All right. So I wanted to get into, before we do that, I wanted to promote the shows this week that we got coming up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this Friday on Wrestling with Paranormal, we're taking a bit of a left turn. We're going to be gathered around the campfire.
Yeah.
And we're going to tell our personal funniest stories that happened to us.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be a lot of laughs. So I got some really funny stories.
I can't wait.
Oh yeah, I got some bangers for stories. And then on Saturday we got we got the Magic of Wrestling, and it'll be Joseph Graham on there. I'm not sure what they're discussing, but I know Liam's got a great idea for it. I'm brain farting right now. And then on Sunday, this is going to be one of our coolest concepts we ever did.
Yep.
It's called You Just Made the List.
Yep.
And it's myself, Liam, and JFB, and we're gonna come up with 5 things that make the list. 5 wrestling, 5 promotions, 5 wrestling, any 5 things. But one of them is gonna be pop culture as well. So we'll see. Maybe Donald Trump will make the list. I don't know. But he'll make someone's list. He's on someone's list. But yeah, that's my little promo spot here.
Okay, so let's go to our number of bells and our match and or segment of the night. Canada Dry, you go first. Number of bells and favorite match.
Did you say me?
Yeah, you.
Okay. My favorite match is definitely the main event. This thing was amazing. And you can almost like makes the whole show beautiful. Like you could have a bunch of stinkers in there in that match. So I'm going to give this 4 stars.
Okay.
4 bells.
Okay. 4 bells. Trey J Styles, lay it on us, man.
I honestly feel like this show was one of those things where, what they say, it's synergy. It's better as a whole than it's like the sum of its parts.
Yeah. Like
there were definitely some good parts and then a great main event. But when you look at it as an entire show, starting from the Young Bucks, ending with Hangman coming out, the Blackpool Combat Club jumping Kenny Omega, this was a great show. Like the flow was good. Like I don't even have the slightest complaint about the order of matches this time.
Yeah,
everything worked. Sky Blue and Tony Storm got a significant amount of time. I think somebody mentioned that even Jade was featured on the show, which is definitely always good.
Yeah.
Hook's match didn't take too long, but it got enough for the fun parts in there. Of course, Sting is one of the greatest like attractions that they have, so having him wrestle on Dynamite is always a plus.
Yeah.
You add all that together with the pacing. It didn't really feel like there were too many dead spots. Like it didn't have a lot of unnecessary cameos. Like the Acclaim didn't do a mid rap.
Yeah.
You kind of focus on like the post with MJF, like kind of fussing about what happened to him last week.
Yep.
Basically, I guess that episode was supposed to be like from last week, which is really an interesting thing they do with him. But altogether, like I said, I'm gonna go with Canada Dry and give it 4 bells as well.
Okay. George, dos points.
I think for the slightest fact, and that we haven't had one of these in a while, I'm gonna go with 5 out of 5 bells.
Okay.
For me.
That's bumping the average way up.
And I'll tell you why. The pacing was great. You didn't feel overloaded with anything. It just flowed perfectly. You didn't get matches going too long or what they needed to be.
Yeah.
The other fact I say this is because in almost each and every match, the whole crowd was into it, especially the main event.
Yeah.
And spoiler, that's my pick for match of the night, obviously.
Yeah.
And
it's everyone's match of the night.
and just it flowed so perfectly as a whole together to where let's just say you wanted to watch this back, I don't know, a year or two from now. You can do that.
Yeah.
And you can probably get that same satisfactory feeling that you did now, just if you were in the future watching this back.
Yeah.
And it also, the other thing I liked, it builded upon storylines in a way I think AEW needs to do more besides, we need to get these stories, so just overload them with, I don't know, promo segments before the main event or something to where one too many, not everyone's going to matter about them anymore and just, I don't know, look on their phone or go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Or just a bathroom break, honestly.
Yep.
And I really felt like they took a step back for this, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe because they had the dream match on there, but for everything as a whole is why I give it honestly 5 bells out of 5 for me. First in a while.
Yeah.
I remembered what the Magic of Wrestling's about on Saturday. It's the highs and lows of AEW. Yeah.
Okay. So so you know what? Sometimes you have a Ferrari doesn't mean you have to drive 205 miles per hour every single time. It doesn't exist. They took their time. They told a great story. They told some long-term stories. They're going to go well past another year. They're building long-term storylines show to show. They're doing such a good job. And they're building up because this is the start to the road to Double or Nothing. And they started building that foundation. Darby Allin staring at Double or Nothing. Like it's, pointing at everybody does in WWE and points at WrestleMania sign. I was going to give it 5 bells. It had one weakness, and that was the Moxley Stu Grayson fight. It just wasn't good. It felt awkward. Like you see that married couple and you're like, what is the deal? Why are they together? And you're like, it doesn't make sense. And that chemistry did not exist at all. So I gave it 4.5 bells. I wanted to give it 5. I really did, but yeah, 4.5 bells. So what is our composite score, if you will, so good sir?
Still our highest yet of any show.
I know. I was like, I was good, and then you decided to go 4.5 bells, and I was like, well, dang. Now the math was already set because I was almost 100% sure you were going with the 4 bells with the rest of us. Then you threw the half in there.
Yeah.
Now I got to do real maths, but to be complete, the numbers for our show come out to be 4.375. And
4.375. That's my new sector next week for Green Lantern.
That's right. 4 3/8, which is really close to the platform that you get on for Hogwarts.
Yep. Ooh. Exactly.
But yeah, this was definitely one. I think the highest rated show we've done so far.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Rich Southwood is complaining. I didn't mention he's going to be on the show on Saturday, so I'm not a scoundrel anymore.
Yeah,
you cannot forget Rich Southwood. When Rich Southwood comes on a show, it becomes magic. It becomes
that show is going to be magic. All our shows are magic.
It sparkles. It sparkles.
Yeah.
All right, so that is the end of the show. We bid you adieu. How do you find us on social media? Well, you can go to two places. You can go to youtube.com/effing wrestling. Click like and subscribe so you know when we're on.
Like it,
click it, like it, love it. Okay, then
lick it.
We're not Tony Storm. Well, it's not always she licks her hand before.
Okay. I was like, where do you go with this?
Another thing.
Many things that I don't like about Tony Storm from a physical standpoint.
Yeah. So you go to effingwrestling.com. From there, go all the way down. All our social media links are on there, including one to AFW, which is our prediction league. If you want a t-shirt, and I know that you do, you want a fun t-shirt, you can get the Effing Wrestling.
Oh, you got it. I got
it. My Effing Wrestling Kool-Aid shirt.
Cherry bomb.
You can get that shirt. You can get the All Effing Wrestling shirt. You can get the Magic Red. Every podcast, everybody's got a shirt on AFW. So go to prowrestlingtees.com/effing wrestling. If you like old school wrestling, and I know that you do, please go visit. Just do it. Go to prowrestlingtees.com/Adrian Adonis, where you can get your Adrian Adonis gear, like this one right here. It's a beautiful shirt.
That's my thing. Is it like his?
Yeah. Can't beat it. So, on behalf of Canada Dry, Trey J Styles, and the stunning George Penning, I am the JFB.
And always remember to just keep fighting.
Ding, ding, ding.
This has been an effing worldwide media production. You can find us on all social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and others. Head over to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/effing wrestling. And while you're there, click like and subscribe. Want some swag? Head to our store at prowrestlingtees.com/effing wrestling. You can find all these links and much more at our awesome website, effingwrestling.com. As the JFB always says, you can book it.